Did you know that the English language was and disconnected from the meanings? Did you know that the English language was purposefully manipulated in order to keep us in a low vibration and disconnected from the meanings of the words that we're speaking? Words are spells. That's why we learn spelling in school. Every sound that we speak has an energetic meaning and footprint that ripples out into the ether in the form of sound energy, creating the very fabric of reality as we know it. Now let's look at some examples. You have to be in a very weak days in order to make it through the weekdays. Notice the double meaning of week and days. Same sounds, different spelling. The same goes for the word weekend. It sounds very similar, almost identical to the word weekend. So when you say during the weekdays, you're casting a spell of being in a weak days. By the time you make it to the weekend, you're so weakened by working a job that does not serve your soul. Job stands for just over broke. And every morning, you are mourning the loss of your time and energy.
Why is it that prisoners are given food and water, but homeless people are not? Why is it that prisoners are given food and water, but homeless people are not?
What happens when you raise babies without language? Well, this was a question that the Mughal Emperor Akbar asked during the 16th century and sought to find out. His train of thought was that if babies were raised without language, the natural language they developed would have been the original language of mankind. He ran a language deprivation experiment where several newborns were raised by nurses instructed to never make any vocal sounds around them. The result? Well, they all turned out to be mute. No language developed at all. It's also important to note that we don't really know if this actually happened for sure. There is some debate among scholars, but it's interesting nonetheless and very unethical.
Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. What we have learned in the last 20 years of research in neuroimaging, behavior. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. What we have learned in the last 20 years of research in neuroimaging, behavior genetics, developmental psychology, neuropsychology can be boiled down to this phrase. Your child is born with more than 400 psychological traits that will emerge as they mature, and they have nothing to do with you. So the idea that you are going to engineer personalities and IQ and academic achievement skills and all these other things just isn't true. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. Your child is a genetic mosaic of your extended family, which means this is a unique combination of the traits that run in your family line. I like the shepherd view. You are a shepherd. You don't design the sheep. So I would rather that you stop thinking yourself as an engineer and step back and say, I am a shepherd to a unique individual. Shepherds are powerful people. They pick the pastures in which the sheep will graze and develop and grow. They determine whether they're appropriately nourished. They determine whether they're protected from harm. The environment is important, but it doesn't design the sheep. No shepherd is going to turn a sheep into a dog. Ain't going to happen, right? And yet that is what we see parents trying to do all the time.
Have you ever heard about the secret underground city hidden beneath the British countryside? Located between Bristol and Swindon is the sleepy market town. Have you ever heard about the secret underground city hidden beneath the British countryside? Located between Bristol and Swindon is the sleepy market town of Corsham. But buried 120 feet below the peaceful cobbled streets is the Central Government War Headquarters, more commonly known as the Burlington Bunker. This was a secret underground city built by the Ministry of Defence during the Cold War, designed to ensure that the UK government could continue to function and provide leadership in the event of a nuclear fallout. The bunker was built out of an old quarry, covering over 35 acres of underground space, with an additional 60 miles of roads and tunnels connecting the rooms. While the rest of us would be rotting up on the surface, the city had the capacity to house 4,000 people for 3 months without external support, primarily including key government officials, civil servants, and military personnel. It was equipped with all the facilities needed to sustain life and run the country, including hospitals, canteens, laundries, accommodation,